Today in the show, we're going to be talking about how Nightwing may be returning. Before we start today's episode, I just want to tell all of you about a website called GEMR. GEMR is basically a website for people that like to collect things, and they have clubs for the different collections you have. They've recently added a comic book collection club. I think this is good because there aren't actually that many high quality resources out there to help comic book collectors, and this one you can actually make friends, you can interact with people, you can buy comics, you can sell comics, you can trade comics, and I did that a lot when I was in college. I couldn't afford to buy comics every week, so I would trade my doubles of older comics if there was a series I really wanted to read. Also, you can chat to people where if you don't know where to look to complete your collection, they can steer you in the right direction, which I just think is so good. I wish there was something like this around 10 years ago, because that would have helped me out a lot. I think it's really good for beginners in comics, particularly because there's this misconception that comics are going to be worth a lot in 10 years time, and that's not entirely true. I mean, it's true for some indie comics that sell very, very well, but only printed very, very few. But who knows, if you've been reading comics for a few years and you're still kind of new to it, you may have a comic that's worth a few $100s. So this website could help you figure out just how much your collection is worth. I put a link to their website down below, but they also have an app. But if you sign up using the link down below, you'll be entered into a giveaway. And if you win this giveaway, you'll win Multiversity Deluxe Edition. I'm actually really jealous because I really want this collected edition. Multiversity was one of my favorite comics in a very, very long time. Basically, to enter, all you have to do is sign up and that will get you one entry. But every time you upload one of your comics or part of your collection to the website, you will earn more entries, which is really, really, really cool. So I'm probably going to buy this collected edition for myself if I'm honest, because it's my birthday today and I need to treat myself. But you have a chance to get it for free, so definitely do that. Go and click the link down below to sign up and upload your entire collection to get as many entries as possible. I know I would definitely do that. So in Robin War #1, we are given a huge hint as to the future of Dick Grayson. Now for all of you that don't know, Robin's War is basically a giant war that's all the Robins versus the Court of Owls. It's Robins versus Owls. Now at the end of issue #1, the Court of Owls actually call Dick Grayson Nightwing, which normally I would just kind of brush off and be like, oh, they're calling him Nightwing, it's whatever, it doesn't matter. But no, you see, Robin's War is actually being written by Tom King, who co-writes Grayson. Aside from changing the current dynamic of all of the Robins, the penultimate goal of Robin's War is to bring back Dick Grayson as Nightwing. The writers of Robin War and Grayson have said that being Nightwing means a lot to Dick Grayson, and if he could return to it, he would in a heartbeat. So what's going to happen to allow him to return to this mantle? He's also going to be reminded of his past as Robin, directly connected to Batman's right-hand side. He's even going to be training all of these new untrained Robins. All of this just points to the fact that Dick Grayson is going to become Nightwing again by the end of Robin's War, which is why I don't think he's going to be Nightwing again by the end of Robin's War. I don't know why, but whenever I see something that's this incredibly obvious, I'm just like, that's not gonna happen. And it usually doesn't, because writers are like, hey, let's put in a twist. And the twists are usually great, but sometimes things are obvious. Sometimes the obvious thing is the twist. But this time, I don't know. I don't trust it. I've read pretty much every comic that Dick Grayson has ever been in, and I know very few people that I can say the same for that, and I've talked to them about that, and we've all said that Grayson is not Dick Grayson. There seems to be a disconnect between who the character is and who Dick Grayson is. And for a few months, a few people I know very, very close and personally, and I respect their opinions, have been saying that he's just acting too much not like Dick Grayson. It wouldn't be a surprise if this guy turned out to be a spy who was actually a clone of Dick Grayson. Even if it's not a clone, even if it is really Dick Grayson, my main hope for Robin War is that Dick Grayson is called out on the way he's acting. He remembers himself, he remembers who he really is, and because of that, he becomes Nightwing again. Also, let's be honest, it's the Court of Owls. The Court never really lose. Let's be real here. Sometimes the most unobvious thing is the obvious thing, so because of that I really do genuinely hope that we have Dick Grayson as Nightwing again, because I love him as Nightwing. I prefer him as Nightwing for reasons like his character development and other physical reasons. Hashtag bring back the butt.
It's super effective!
Okay guys, that is it for today. So what do you think of this whole situation? Are you excited for Dick Grayson to return as Nightwing? Please leave in the comments down below. And also don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more history videos. And also don't forget to like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, support the show by checking my Patreon if you want to see bigger and better and more history videos. And also don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel if you'd like to play games with me. My name is Faust, this has been Exploring Comics, and it is super effective.